My name is Caitlin Labe, and I use she, her pronouns. I'm vice president. The vice president is uniquely situated as the chief internal officer of the operations. So essentially what that means is anything internal, the vice president probably has something to do with it, whether that be managing internal employees like the ASUW employees, or acting as a member of like internal delineated commissions such as finance and budget or judicial, or the student technology fee committee, any of those. It also has to do with collaborating with other board members to ensure that everyone inside the association is supported. If it has ASUW in the name, I'm probably doing something related to it behind the scenes. So definitely kind of in everything, I feel like. I was the Women's Action Commission director last year. That commission is now known as the Gender Equity Commission. So there was a name switch this year. But I worked last year and I was really frustrated with the institutional red tape I felt like I was hitting at every turn. I also felt not supported at all. And as an employee of ASUW, I knew that while I loved the work that I was doing, if I really wanted to see change or possibly come back as a commission director, I needed to revitalize internal operations. And so I decided to run for vice president with that goal in mind of just creating ASUW as a more supportive space for ASUW employees and hopefully then for students at large. Wish they knew we existed. ASUW is one of the biggest support systems I've found on the UW campus, both in terms of like interpersonal support, the friends and commitments you make there, but also just the resources and the connections that it gives you. ASUW is an autonomous student government, which you don't find on a lot of other campuses. So, students are running this $1.2 million organization, and really with not a ton of oversight from, say, student activities advisors. Like it really comes down to how students want to do it. So I wish that a lot more students knew of the opportunities that ASUW held on campus. I think it's been in the smaller moments. I don't think there's one moment where I'm like, this is what I did it for. But I think there's the small moments of when students come to my office hours and ask about how to get involved, or we pass a board bill that has to do with accessibility or something I'm really passionate about, or we have these small meetings about the future of UW and what it looks like with students at the helm. So I really think it's like in those small moments where I'm like, this is what I did this for. And I know that it's not like a super helpful answer because I can't pinpoint one moment, but association-wide events is what I'm really proud of this year. They really have not happened in the past. So thus far, we've had a ASUW winter party where all of the employees were able to kind of meet in the Starbucks lounge in the hub, and we did a huge potluck and played games and trivia and just kind of, there's 60 to 70 of us, I think, that, popped in at any given moment. And that was a really not only rewarding, but just like a happy moment, coming out of the pandemic. That was the first time we had all been together and like really seen each other outside of just like working in our offices. But also in addition to that, we have a ASUW social coming up on April 1st, part of like an awareness campaign that I'm running, and that'll be in the hub bowling alley. And so it's open to any student. We're trying to cater like Pagliacci's and everything. And we also have an ASUW birthday party to celebrate ASUW's birthday on April 15th, and that'll be on the hub lawn. So I'm really proud of like those type of events that are open both to ASUW employees and also just every student at UW. I know filing is closed, so I would say run, but I would say that this opportunity is 100% what you make of it. And I'm really excited to start working with my successor, and to make ASUW the best that it can be, starting with the VP. I don't think so. I mean, I've been a part of ASUW. This will be my, I guess, like 2.5 years. And to any student who is just looking for community or, I mean, a plethora of different opportunities, I would say just try it out. I think that students would be very pleasantly surprised by what we hold in the offices of 121 and 131 in the hub. And I'm always an open book. So if anyone has any questions or just wants to hear about experiences, I'm always here, office hours or via email.